Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Thursday, January 22nd. It is 6:28 right now. We have market opening up in about 2 minutes. If you guys are looking to take the breakout looks like it's going to be a possible sell for the day. Um, yeah, looks like it's gonna be a possible sell because we have a buy signal which is currently active right now. Got my alerts over here, of course. All right, so we're good. So again, if you guys are looking to take a breakout, guys, it is going to be a sell entry because we currently have a buy signal here right now. So if you guys are looking to jump into that, there's a lot of news today. So I mean, I guess just be cautious. The entry at 7 o'clock is going to be very tricky because of the news. But we'll see what happens here when market opens up. We got market opening up in about 10 seconds. So we'll see what happens here shortly. Again, let me just put this up before we get completely started here. Actually, I don't need to. That's fine. Leave it as is today. But all right, guys, market is now open. So price is pushing down right there. Let's see how far it pushed down. Breakout pushed down about 30 points, and it's kind of just sitting where it opened up at. All right, so with that being the case, let me go ahead over here and take a look at the algo entries for the day. So the algo entries for the day, it's kind of interesting to look at the algo entries because the 60/30 only had one entry today, which I think is pretty crazy. I was mainly looking for the 5 minute entry for today, but again, I don't know if we're going to be able to get that because we have news at 7 o'clock and it's high impact. So you want to be cautious. There's a lot of news today. So pre-market, we had high impact job data. And then later at 7 o'clock, we have inflation data. So like I mentioned, be cautious for today because this is one of those days where there's a lot of high impact news events. Um, these are really the days to be careful for the most part. So I'll be looking for two different entries. I'll be looking for a possible MPS entry with Daniel's variation to it. And I'll be looking for possible 5 minute algo entries. So again, let me pull up the algo entries here. So right here for 60/30 today, there's only one entry at 7:20. A little shocked to see that there was only one entry for today. Looking over here for the 40/20, there's a couple others. So there's one at 6:36, one at 6:45, and then a couple at 7. The 5 minute 60/30, this is the one that I typically would have wanted to take. It's at 7 o'clock, but the problem with this is that there's high impact news at 7 o'clock, so probably not going to be taking that one. I did another one here with the 150 TP stop loss from the 5 minute. It's at 650, 655. They kind of overlap a little bit. For gold over here, we have a couple entries. Again, it's going to be at right now, actually, market open. And then right after at 6:35, and then another one right here at 6:40. So it says 6:35, but it means on that candle close, which would be 6:40. And then we have the 10 minute here, a couple entries, 10 minute at 150. But let me check gold real quick because gold actually just came up. Okay, so gold over here. Um, yeah, gold actually just hit, it looks like. So right here it came up at 6:30 for a buy. I was looking to take gold, but right now I'm going to just follow it for a bit. I'm going to see how it ends up playing through, but I'm going to just kind of play by ear because I'm not used to trading gold yet. I'm going to see how they play out. If they play out well, then obviously I'll start trading it. But for now, I'm going to just follow through it and see where it ends up going. So this right here was the gold entry. I don't think this would have been an entry that I would have looking to take because there was a momentum signal right prior. So that'd be kind of like a flickering momentum type entry. So for that specific entry right there, I'm just going to put flickering momentum, no entry. I typically am not going to look at flickering momentum on the higher time frames, but because this one was like on the candle prior, that's something that you'd have to kind of take into consideration because I mean this here technically would have been a sell, but he came up for a buy right there. 6:30, so there's gonna be another inch right here at 6:30, and we'll come and take a look at that in a few. Um, yeah, there's just a lot of different opportunities for entry here, which is good. We want this. You want opportunities for entry. All right. So we will continue to follow along here. We'll see if there's any other opportunity that may come up, but at the moment, it's gonna sit tight. Hey Sam, morning. Morning Steven, morning Lila, morning Karen, morning Maria, morning everybody. Yeah, it looks like some of you guys there took the breakout. Let me see what the flickering. It looks like there might have been some flickering momentum around that period. Yeah, there was flickering momentum on the candle prior, like literally prior. I think this is what we've been talking about. So like if you get a flickering momentum like right before, it's probably a good skip, right? And right there, obviously there's one at 629, which was right before market open. So that probably would have been a good skip to take. It's not going to be as strict as the other flickering momentums. Like it doesn't really matter if it's like 3 minutes prior, but if it's right before it at 629, it's probably gonna be a good idea to maybe think twice about it, right? One thing that I realized, guys, so I remember there was issues with my alerts over the past week. I realized that TradingView updated their alert system, so it's different now. That's why I had to just delete mine and I created new alerts because the problem was that the momentum signal wasn't actually even coming up on here. That's why it was delayed. So that was the fix. It wasn't my computer. It was TradingView as usual. They tend to roll out updates and they don't say anything. So, I mean, I didn't know that there was an update for the alerts. So what I had to do is I had to just delete my old alert and create a new one because the new alerts did not work with my old momentum indicator. So if you guys are seeing issues with your alerts or you're seeing issues with TradingView in general, you might want to just create a new window or create a new alert or something like that to fix it because there's always continuous updates with TradingView specifically. All right, there's no entries here yet. I'm just following along. I'm going to log into all of my accounts here on NinjaTrader, so you're going to hear some noise in the background. It's just accounts getting logged into. So yeah, I believe the big news events are coming up at 7 o'clock. It's going to be an issue because most of our entries are around 7 o'clock. Um, so the specific 7 o'clock entry, I'm going to have to skip that one for sure. See if I can maybe get into the follow-up entries after at 7:10, 7:20, but we'll we'll just have to wait and see. All right, so we got a higher high right here. Our low right here too. It's going to mark up some structure. Yeah, nothing too crazy here, but just marking up structure as we go. All right, we have a pending higher high right here. See if it holds. Hey, Brock, morning. All right, so looking over here, this is the next entry for gold. Gold was at let me just check the list over here real quick. Next one was at 635, which just came up. It's currently running, it was for a buy. It was 240, 29. Yeah, I think that's right. So this trade's currently running right here for gold. Yeah, so it's 24 points, 120. Yeah, this is right. So it's currently running right now. This is the trade at 7 or 635. Gold is a little different. Points and ticks are calculated differently. So it's 24 to 12 points, but it's 120 or it's 24. You just add a zero to it basically. So basically it's 24 12 points, but it's 240 120 ticks. So right here it says ticks. You can see over here on the little, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. If you look at the markup right here, it says 24. That means 24 points. 24, 240 here is 240 ticks. And same with down here. The stop's 12 points, but it's 120 ticks. So this trade's going to run for a while. It's a bigger range right here. I calculated this based off the ATR. What I did is I basically just calculated the ATR. Um, and these parameters right here aren't for gold. These are for, this is for YM. So don't look at this right here. This strategy report below is not relevant to what's currently running. But anyways, that's the trade that's currently running at 630, and there's going to be another one right after at 635 for a sell. So basically push up 635 to 640 and then 640 to 645 retracement back down. So I'll come back and take a look at this a little later. I'm going to stick to YM for right now. That's mainly what we're going to be looking to take. As price continues to move up higher, I'm just going to adjust the higher high here. It hasn't been established yet, so it's just going to keep pushing up higher. What I would be looking for here is a possible MPS. I'm going to put a line here because there's a high impact news event at 7 o'clock, so obviously I don't want to trade around that time. Yeah, there's a lot of news events right here. As you guys can see, it's a full stack. We have core PCE, price index, personal income, personal spending. There's a bunch of stuff right here coming up. So. Yeah, I mean it sucks because it's at entry time, so I'm not gonna be able to take that 7 o'clock entry, but oh, it is what it is. Let me check my algo entries. Um, yeah, there's just two main things I'm looking for. I'm looking for an MPS and I'm looking for the algo entries. If I can find the MPS. All right, we have a pending sell signal right here. Pending sell signal. If this here comes up, we could be looking for a possible MPS to the downside. Hey, Brock. Ed said, sorry, Sean, really quickly, what was the flickering alert setup? Um, Sorry, Ed, what are you referring to? I think you're talking about the breakout, right? If you're talking about the breakout, basically the flickering momentum is like if it happens the candle prior to entry. So like for example, today the breakout was at 630, right? We had a flickering momentum at 629, which is the candle right before it. This is like something that Talanji has kind of been looking at and been mentioning that, if there's a flickering momentum on the entry candle, which is going to be this candle right here, 629, it'd be something to avoid. Add to the alert thing. Oh, if you want to set up alerts for it, you'll just go here to alert. You'll go to symbol will be YM, of course, because that's what you're trading. You go to price or condition, and you'll change this to Cody Kai momentum, and then you'll just set it up for a buy and a sell. So if you want it to be a sell signal, you'll just click sell signal there. You'll click your interval. I usually just put 1 minute because that's what the time frame you want it on. You'll click trigger once per bar. and then you'll have open-ended so it doesn't turn off. It just still goes on forever, basically. For the messages over here, I call it, you can see over here, I have it a 1 minute sell momentum. So I just put 1 minute sell momentum. And then basically whenever the signal comes up, it'll give you an alert on the side. That's how you would set it up. So I have four of them. I have one for a 1 minute buy, 1 minute sell, 5 minute buy, and 5 minute sell. So this is going to indicate whenever, a momentum signal comes up. Okay, so I'm looking over here, guys. I may have a possible MPS setting up right here. So I'll be watching for it. Yeah, I'll be watching for possible MPS setup over here. It's not there yet, but all right. So this could be a possible MPS setup right here. Let's see how this candle here closes. We got a sell momentum right there on the 5 minute. So it's actually looking pretty nice because it is lining up with the 5 minute momentum. The only problem is we're getting really close to the sessions a little later. So not the sessions, the news. So I'll be watching for this right here. Make sure the candle's not too big.
Order submitted.
So I get into it right there. Candle was a little big, but let's see. Yeah, let's let it run. The candle was a little big though, you can see from this. So let's see if I can adjust the target a little bit. Target should probably get moved up a little bit to 22, it looks like. All right, it looks like it's already set up at 22 on my main account, but obviously some slippage on the others. It's looking good though. Let's go over to the 5. So there's a pending momentum here on the 5 minute time frame. It's just going to be a matter of time. It's just, I mean, price here is not super consistent with the directional push. It's rejecting off the pivot there, but we'll see if it pushes below and closes. It has about 2 minutes left on it for it to close below the pivot there. So I'll continue watching here on the 5. Also look over here on the 10. Yeah, it's looking like it came down right here to the pivot. Again, if it pushes through here and breaks and closes below the pivot, it's going to be pretty nice setup and continuation right there. But we will continue following it here as price continues to, obviously move along. Watch here on the 5 minute because it looks better. And that's good right there. So that's what I wanted to see. The sell signal keep holding and pushing below. Currently in profit 30 points right now. 37 points, 40 points. Yeah, just wanted to hold 40 points. Target full TP on a couple of accounts there.
Target filled.
Target filled right there. A couple of more accounts. I mean, profit about 1,000 on this one.
Target filled.
Target filled. Target filled.
Filled.
And we're all out. There we go. I made a good amount of money on that trade. Full TP right there, 60 points. Whew, what a relief. Fuck. Second trade of this year. Great move right there, guys. Perfect MPS right there set up that I've been waiting for weeks and weeks and weeks. Um, there we go. That was a huge trade right there, guys. Nope, no early pulls, full TP all the way. Hmm. So you guys can see we're starting to adapt to the market, right? Market's been kind of fucked for the past couple of weeks. But you can see I've been making adjustments, guys, and these adjustments are working perfectly with us, right? The good thing here, so this is what gave me the confidence with this trade here, is that I set up alerts for the 5 minute now. So we took this trade here and we had a flickering momentum for the five, right? That's where I was like, okay, this is gonna be a good trade because we have sell momentum here on the one. The five is following. It hasn't closed yet, but yeah, it's following and it's gonna play out very well. And price basically went back to open. Yeah, if you guys remember Risky Rick, I don't know, Rick might still be here. He might just be in the background somewhere. Um, yeah, hopefully Rick's doing good. I know Rick had some health issues for a while. Not to put that out there, but Rick was a crazy guy. He was a fun guy, but he was pretty crazy when it came down to, trading, of course. Okay, so there goes my one trade for the day. Like I mentioned, I'm only taking one trade for the day, guys. Um, this is this allows me to remain consistent and not take stupid trades for better case of words. But yeah, so there goes my entry for the day. I'm done for the most part. I only took two trades for this whole year so far. My net profit, I'll go ahead and update I haven't even looked at my trader sync, guys. It's crazy. I usually look at my trader sync almost every day because we take trades almost every day. But yeah, that's my one trade for the day. We'll keep looking for entries. I'm not done analyzing, but my goal for the day and what I do pretty much for all my trades is I only take one trade per day, right? So, all right, anyways, let's update my trader sync. It's been a long time. It's that was a nice 60-point move. Yeah, so I made where am I at? Where's my personal account? I made about 3,000 on that trade. Man, I haven't made that much on my personal account in a long time. 3,000. It's nice. I'm risking 1,500 to make 3,000. Um, yeah, we haven't really had a trade in a while, so I haven't had a loss or a win. So today's the first day in a long time I'm posting profits. Okay, so let's do this. Let me update my trader sync. I'll keep looking for entries here. But yeah, we'll keep looking for entries here. Anyways, let me look at my algo entries. So let me check the gold trade. I think the gold trade is still running. Oops, wrong gold trade. Okay, so the gold trade here is still running. This is the 5 minute algo gold trade. Let me just check my algo list. I'm going to update the algo list on my second screen here because there's just a lot of back and forth going on this chart. Let's see. So the 640 or the 4060 or 4020 actually, 636 was for a sell, no entry. 645 was for a buy, no entry. 702 was for a buy. And yeah, if you guys want to share your profits, I mean, feel free to send your profits into the chat. It's going to be a relief to finally post for one. It's been a long time. 7 o'clock. All right, so a lot of these other entries are not up yet. I just updated the spreadsheet. There's a bunch of no entries for the 1 minute. Um, and we'll just follow through here. But let me check the chat. Nice work, guys. Looks like a lot of you guys caught that last trade with me. Yeah, it looks like Talanji got it. Looks like Jonathan got it too. His first trade of the year. Let's see what you got over here, Jonathan. So yeah, if you guys want to share your profits, feel free to send them in. The daily market bias for today was pretty spot on. As you guys can see right here, it was bearish cautious. So like I mentioned, it was cautious for the day, but it was also bearish. The actual movement was bearish. Here's some team profits from Jonathan. So Jonathan locked in 1,176. Nice work, Jonathan. Great profits right there. Looks like Rev caught the trade. Solange got the trade. Jesus got it. Karen got it. Ben got it. Barack got it. Jarrell, nice. Solid. Daniel got it too. Great work, guys. All right, so Asus is asking if I can explain the strategy. So basically, the strategy that I took is it's a variation to the MPS. It's Daniel's variation. Basically, it's an MPS, but it doesn't incorporate trend. It just incorporates strict price action. So for example, here we have a sell signal. Well, let me see. I already have the requirements here. I got to call it something else because it's not an MPS v3. We already have an MPS v3. I'm just gonna call it something else like MPS. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to call it something else because it's not an MPS v3. It's I'll put MPSD for Daniel. I think that's probably gonna be the better name. Let me turn off and thanks, Daniel. So this is why the community is important, right? Because I didn't come up with this strategy. Daniel actually came up with it. He um he just had a small variation to like what we were already doing. And it works well because what I've started to realize, and I mean, this isn't always going to be the case, but what I've realized for this type of market that we're currently in, the market shifts, there's always different market regimes. I realize that the trend isn't always going to be your friend, right? It's not always going to be pushing. Like, for example, here, this thing was pushing up for so strong, and a lot of people would typically just chase this to the upside, right? The thing that I've noticed over the past couple months, specifically from like October till now, is that price will trend up very heavily and then it'll immediately turn around in a lot of instances, right? Not that we're trading mean reversion and not that I'm looking for reversals, but in a sense, market structure is more important than trend with regard to the changes in how market shifts because we're in a choppy market, right? So like you're going to see a lot of this stuff where price goes back and forth. And that's the problem with trading the trend all the time is that the trend is it deteriorates, right, very quickly. Like for example, here, price was very strong for a bullish trend. All of a sudden, it turned around. But this doesn't mean price can stay below it. It might just shift all the way back up, right? So that's why I created like, well, I didn't create this, but I made a couple adjustments. Daniel's strategy, he gave me the foundation of what his strategy is, and then I changed a couple things here. So I just added a couple different notes here. No trades within higher highs, lower lows, obviously no sessions. If the candle's too big, no, and then if there's no high lows in between. But the way that the strategy works is you're looking for a valid momentum signal. You're looking for a higher high or a lower low before it. If it's a sell, you're looking for a higher high. If you're looking for a sell, you're looking for a lower low. So for example, right here, there was another setup right here, but it's not actually setting up. But for example, there's a buy signal, lower low. This would set up for a buy entry if it actually played out. But again, our entry right here, there was a sell signal, higher high, and then you're just looking for the same pattern, right? The main thing is that you're just not using the trend and you're using just a higher high instead of a trend confirmation because you're looking for a ceiling, you're looking for a top, and you're looking for a bottom. And you want the momentum to push away from that top or from that bottom. So same concept of the MPS, where just all the MPS are the same pattern, right? For buys, you're looking for this pattern. For sells, you're looking for this pattern. But the key thing here is that you're not using the trend. You're mainly using market structure to identify the basically the floor and then the ceiling for sells. So the main things just you're looking for the floor to be established, and then you're looking for momentum confirmation, right? So the ceiling right here was established like this right here. We had the momentum confirmation right there, retracement confirmation to the downside. So yeah, same strategy, just no trend. You can just take it either direction. And this works because I have different criteria in place, right? So like I have these specific rules to not take certain trades at certain times. So that helps with not taking every single reversal basically, because there's going to be a lot of reversals that are happening on the chart. All right, let me mark up structure right
Commencement.
here. Yeah, if you have any more questions regarding that ACES, just let me know. But it's pretty straightforward. You're basically just taking the trend equation out. Nice work, Maria. So Maria over here took that trade with us. She locked in 459. Nice work, Maria. Good to see you here. Hopefully you're doing better. I know you got injured over the past week or so. So, I mean, you should be, I'm assuming you're good now. You're back online, which is good to see you. Um, Let me post Maria's profits here as well. Oops. Yeah, and Paul as well. So Paul, I saw your message. Hopefully you're doing okay over there. I know Paul, you guys are having some sort of storm over there. So hopefully it's nothing too crazy. I mean, thankfully we don't have to experience that here in California. We have earthquakes. We don't have storms and stuff like that. I mean, we have flooding, but nothing like you guys do over there. You know, after watching that movie Twister, I'm like, man, it's crazy. It's crazy how people live in those areas, and stuff like that happens. But yeah, great profits right there. Maria locked in 459. Here are Massage's profits. Massage locked in some pretty good profits. He said P&L for January 22nd today. Made a total profit of, was it 26,572? Nice. Change bot to only trade within the first 30 minutes as it's much better. 3 winning days in a row. Hoping to keep it going. Yeah, definitely Massage. Solid wins right there. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, right? The first 30 minutes is probably gonna be your best option. Also, because there's news right now at 7 o'clock, right? High impact news. Almost every day there's high impact news at 7 o'clock, so it's very tricky to get into certain entries. Let me go over here to YM real quick. So this was supposed to be an entry right here for YM on the 5 minute, but it's a no entry because it was for a buy. Obviously, there's a sell signal there, so no entry. And then another one right there. They're both no entries. I'm just gonna update the spreadsheets as we go along. 702. Just a bunch of no entries here. 702 is going to be coming up shortly. 720. I don't think that gold trade hit, right? So, I mean, there's a big spike right there. Price basically spiked. So this is a problem with trading that gold entry, like I said, was that we had high impact news at 7 o'clock, right? Obviously, you can see gold here was impacted by the news. Big spike right here. Price was looking fine down until it got close to 7 o'clock. As soon as it got to 7 o'clock, price spiked down, and you're getting this huge wick right here. So if you guys are taking these entries, like I said, you got to be careful with this with the news. I think Paul, you also mentioned this to me yesterday. You're the one that gave me the warning, I think, right? That there's a lot of high impact news. So hopefully you got out of that position because I know you were holding this one. Um, Obviously you can see the market reaction was based directly off the news. Let's check the news real quick and see what happened actually. So the news was pretty mixed. No, it was all negative. Personal income was negative for both, for October and for November. So everything was neutral, but the ones that actually had an impact were these two that were both negative. So that's why price spiked down right there. And then you can see it's coming right back up. So again, if you guys are trading around news time, I would highly recommend to pull out of the position at least 10 minutes before news. My hard rule for news is don't trade 10 minutes before and don't trade 10 minutes after. Wait for the news to react or the market to react to the news and then, make your move from there. And here's some profits from Jarrell. Nice work, Terrell. You guys did really good today. Nice work. It looks like all you guys took the trade with me earlier. Here's Kip. Nice work, Kip. Kip killed it. He made 2,000 on the first account, about basically 6,000 in total. So great work right there, Kip. Here's Jarrell's profits. It's kind of weird seeing profits, right? Because we haven't taken trades in a long time. Um, so yeah, there's Jarrell's profits. He locked in 1,325. Nice work, Jarrell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Basically 10,000 for the day. Nice work, Masij. Oh, okay, okay, gotcha, Masij. Yeah, so Masij today locked in 6,420. What Masij is doing here is he's showing all of my strategies automated, basically. He has all the entries being taken by automation. So in total for the week, I guess, right? Or however long you've been trading, he's up 26,572. And then for the day, he's up 6,420. So great work right there. Masij, thanks for clarifying on that. Um, that's actually a good name for it, Kip. Thanks for I'm gonna call it that actually. Yeah, MPS price action. I think that's a really good name. 'Cause MPSD is kind of random. So let's just call that MPSPA. Okay, perfect. No, it's a great name for it. Teamwork. Okay, MPS. There we go. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Because MPSD just didn't really make sense. Um, okay, anyways, with that being said, guys, let me go ahead and take a look to see. Nice. Yeah, Justice said didn't take it, but he's starting to see the MPS V2. I took it on a sim as I'm working on identifying them, but in a few days I'll be taking them with you. Yeah, the MPS is a really good strategy. It's really straightforward and it's based off, strict price action, of course, with or without the trend. Daniel said you don't like the D. Um, let's see what else you got over here. Yeah, Rev said we have a huge snowstorm coming. Snowmageddon. Yeah, hopefully you guys stay safe. Paul and Rev, I know you guys are in areas where heavily affected by that. Okay, guys, so let me check the algos real quick. Let me just see if there's any algo entries which uh came up. There's actually a couple here which came up 630, 635. No. 625. All right. So I'm just updating all of the algo entries right now as we speak. There's no more gold trades. There's just one gold trade for today. Here's the entry for YM. So YM is actually running right now, I think. I see an entry right here at 655. Okay, it's actually a no entry because it was for a buy. The next one's at 710. 705 for a buy. Yeah, just a bunch of no entries because a lot of these are for buys. But you guys will see the spreadsheet in a few. It's just going to take some time until until that comes up. Let's see the 10-minute 650. I mean, there was news there, but I'm still gonna identify the entries here for the algo. Even though there was news, I'm just gonna identify it because I'd rather know if there's losses. We're just gonna disregard news for the most part because for the algo, it doesn't really matter. It's like a trade to trade. Um, there's actually another entry coming up right here, so I'll come back and take a look at that in a few. All right, just making sure all the algo entries are covered. 702 over here for a buy. That's a no entry. And there's a lot of algo entries to follow now. Initially, it was just one time frame and one parameter, but now we have a whole bunch. Um, this could be another possible MPSPA entry right here, guys. There's a lower low. If this buy signal here closes, this could start setting up for a possible MPS to the upside, right? So I'll follow it here. I just updated the spreadsheet. It was obviously a lot of stuff I had to update here. So looking over here at the 630, no entry has came up yet. This is at 720. This one over here, 4020. Let me just refresh it. So the 4020 entries over here is just a bunch of no entries for the day. Like I mentioned, I'm not really going to trade on the 1 minute unless it's for an MPS entry because there's just a lot of no entries here. They just don't line up. So no entries here. The next one's at 720. So it's 709 right now. We have about 10 minutes till then. Um, Nothing here, nothing here. We'll come back and take a look. There's just no entries right now. So as the entries come up, we'll update them, but right now there's nothing there. Let me check the other chat real quick. Looks like anybody out there just banked 1,005 on YM. Nice work. Solid profits there. Sam over here, MPS, nice. So Sam caught the MPS, fair value gap. He said he's hacked YM. I mean, you definitely have, Sam, if you're trading it because you never trade YM, right? You're usually trading gold. So I'm glad to see you're starting to understand how YM is moving and you're able to take advantage of it, right? YM's a good asset, guys. If you guys are able to like really learn and understand how to trade something like YM, it's a really good asset to trade and obviously you can make a lot of profit trading it if you do it correctly. So yeah, anyways, see what else we got here. Joe said great day. Yeah, nice work, Joe. I'm assuming you caught that trade earlier too. Sam said he skipped the sell MPS. Yeah, the sell MPS here is a little tricky. So it was also at the sessions right here, Sam, so I would have skipped it as well. It's obviously a red flag, right? So there was a sell signal right here. This is a regular MPS, not a MPSPA, but just a regular one. The trade's still running. I mean, it still looks like it can hit. It's just a matter of time. And looking at this right here, price is kind of stuck between the structure. And with it being stuck between the structure, that's where it becomes a little tricky, right? As this happens, of course. It's kind of interesting because this lower low, uh, it aligns up with this previous structure that I have drawn up earlier. So I drew the structure way earlier, like way down here, and price is still respecting the structure as we speak. We have a couple buy momentums which are currently pending right here. What you want to see here, if you're looking for a buy, is you want to look for the 1 minute and the 5 minute to align, right? So right now it's not aligned. That's why I put the alerts here for the 5 minute and the 1 minute because it's going to help a lot. That's exactly what helped with our sell earlier this morning, right? We had a sell momentum for the 1 minute. We had a 5 minute. It's like, okay, if that's the case, price is probably going to keep pushing. Tina Siege said, why not set alerts at the beginning of the day for all the entries you want to take? Actually, just I let the alerts just stay on all day now, Miss Siege. So if you look at my alerts here, they're actually on all day. I don't even turn it off anymore. Because what happened is I would forget to turn it on, and I'd just I'd miss alerts. But now I just have the alerts on all day. I just need to turn off my computer, or else it's going to be beeping all night. Before it used to keep beeping. I just had to change the settings because like my computer would go to sleep, and then it's like, oh, trading view alert, and then it would wake up and you just hear beeping, like, the fuck's the noise? It's beep, beep, beep. But it doesn't do that anymore, so I was able to turn it off. Let's see. Barack is asking on gold. That was not for an MPSPA. That was for the algo entry. Yeah, Daniel said a wind changes everything. You almost were ready to quit YM yesterday. LOL, it's been frustrating. The crazy thing is that the MPSPA has been hitting every day this week. So every day, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or yeah, 4 days straight. It's on a four win streak right now for the MPS PA. Like yesterday, we missed it because it came up so late, but it hit, right? And then the day before that, it hit as well. You took it, and I missed it for some reason. I forgot why I missed it, but I missed it. The MPSPA it's been on fire for the past couple weeks, actually. Last week it was hitting. It's just I missed them because I was busy answering questions and doing other stuff. But it's been pretty consistent lately because of the choppy market that we're in. The regular MPS it's been struggling a little bit because, like I said, the trend it doesn't hold for very long, right? Like for example, right here, we have price kind of pushing down right here. If you're looking to chase this for a sell MPS, it's going to be tricky because the trend doesn't hold long enough to reach 60 points, right? It just ends up going the other way. So that's why for me, I personally like the MPS PA right now specifically versus the MPS. The MPS is still hitting, but what I've noticed is the MPS PA has been a lot more consistent and it's been showing up. It doesn't show up a lot. It shows up maybe once or twice a day. But when it does show up, it's usually pretty good. It kind of reminds me of like a triple confluence in a sense. So pretty solid. But yeah, I'm looking at the algo data. I only did gold today because I didn't want to overextend myself, right? I mean, we're already having trouble looking at all these different time frames and different assets. Uh, so if I added another one here, which I'm going to add, so maybe tomorrow or tonight I'll add ES, but I'm only going to do it on the higher time frames. I'm not really going to look at the 1 minute anymore because the 1 minute it's just a mess, guys. Obviously, you guys can see there's a lot. Like this whole month, there's been no entries, and it's kind of pointless to look on the 1 minute. So I don't even know if I'm going to keep following the 1 minute. I might just mark it up on the 60/30, but not on the 40/20. Or I don't know, maybe one or the other. I'll kind of choose one or the other. But what I'm starting to realize is because of the choppy markets, the 5 minute entries are actually a lot better, right? That's just how it is right now. It's a choppy market. Let me check the momentum indicator over here. Okay, so looking on the 5 minute, there's actually a no entry there. I'm going to update it because it's for a buy, right? So there's no entry there for the 5 minute. And then I think for the 10 minute as well, there's also going to be a no entry, I think. Wait, let me go back to my chart. No, no, okay. So the 10 minute, there's actually an entry right here. O'clock. Okay, so there's the 10 minute entry. This one looks like it might have gotten stopped out. Or no. Yeah, actually looks like it got stopped out right there. The market's just too volatile right now, so it's obviously looks like the 50, no. Yeah, the 50 might have survived it. Let me see. No, it still would have gone stopped out, so it doesn't really matter. The difference is there. So the 10 minute is not what's the loss for today, of course. 7 o'clock, I don't think it really matters here. This here also was a loss. And then we have one more coming up. So I'm just looking at the different time frames here. Gold, it was just one trade for the day, didn't win. 10 minute here, just one trade as well, or two actually didn't win because they're both buys and price was kind of dumping at the time. So I think the 5 minute is going to be a good in between. The 10 minutes a little too far out. The 5 minutes, it's a good in between. The 1 minute's too choppy. So 1 minute's too choppy. We get a lot of no entries. The 5 minute is the like the balance between the one and the 10. And the 10 is just it's too far. I mean, the thing is, if you're using a 30-point stop loss on a 10 minute candle, like you can see the stop loss is just way too tight, right? 30-point stop loss. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can use a 30-point stop loss on the 10 minute because it pulls back even a little bit. You're pretty much screwed. You can see the trade over here. The 10 minutes actually working. It's just the stop loss was too tight, right? Because look, it's hitting right now. It's just I got to figure out like what TP stop loss should be used for the 10. I mean, it might even be something higher, like maybe 120.60, because this would survive it. But we'll keep that for another day. Right now, I'm not gonna go too deep into this because I don't really care to trade on the 10 anyways. The 10 is it's too big of a candle for me. I'll identify the entries, but I don't really want to trade on it because it's gonna be really inconsistent with because there's gonna be a lot of times where there's no entries. Obviously, the 10 minutes not gonna have very many high probable opportunities. Or maybe it will. I mean, we don't know. Anyways, I'm just going over the list over here. 7:20. We'll come back and take a look at those algo entries. Let me go back to the 1 minute real quick. Um, so this is an M actually there's no MPS here at all because there's no trend and then also the price action here wasn't confirmed. There's a higher low in between this lower low. So there's no entries here at the moment. We just got price here pushing up right now. We have buy momentum's kind of shifting on both the 1 minute, or I mean it was, yeah, the 1 minute and the 5 minute right here. So around 7:13 or 7:15, this would be a good time to buy. You can see they start to line up together. Let me see where 7:15 is. Yeah, actually, this is a nice setup. So this is something that I've used in the past. If you guys look at the settings for the momentum indicator, I actually have this where it's called scalp, and you can identify it with different time frames. Right. So if you, I think this is a really key thing to look at, guys. If you see momentums kind of line up with each other, I might even create one for the 10. Let's do that. I think that's actually a good thing to have just to be able to, because when these line up together, they're gonna indicate that price is pushing that direction. It doesn't hurt to have more alerts. I mean, especially if they're on the higher time frame. So I'm just setting up another alert here so it can let me know when momentum is pushing because you could just ride that momentum in a sense, right? If you get a flickering momentum, like I think this is a key thing to look at. This is how we took the sell earlier, right? We took the sell earlier at 6:45. We had the lineup with the 1 minute and the five, and then that thing pushed straight down. Same with this right here. You had the lineup over here with the buy momentum for the 5 minute and the 1 minute. So at 7:15, 7:13, you would have gotten into the position right there. And look at that nice push to the upside. So like I said, we're always adapting with the market. I'm lately I've been on the charts a lot. So before I would never go on the charts. Like after we get off this live session, I'm usually completely done. I don't do any analyzing, I don't do any review, any of that stuff. But for the past couple of weeks, I've been frustrated because we just haven't had any entries. So what I've been doing is I've been doing the work, guys. I've been here grinding it out, figuring out what are the best TP stop losses, what, this, that, and the other. And it's been helpful because I'm more connected with the market now than I've been in a while. So, all right, let's see my profits for today. Wow. Today is a huge day, guys. So let me show you guys real quick. I didn't realize I made that much profit across my accounts, but let me just show you. I made almost 100,000 today. That is crazy. See, I went a whole month with no trades. I took a loss last Monday. And you can see I took for this is only 40 accounts. So for 40 accounts right here, I lost 38,000. But today I took one trade as well and I made 97,380. That's huge. So this is what I'm telling you, like I'm just sticking to one trade per day because there's gonna be a lot of slow days and like days where there's nothing happening. But then when I have a win, it recoups like so much. So for this one over here, I only used a 20-point stop loss. That's why it's a lot smaller. It was a tight stop. This over here, I had a 60-point target. So huge, huge gain right there. I didn't realize I made that much profit on that trade, but pretty solid. Pretty solid. Um, Let me scroll down the chat real quick. Just want to see. Let's take a look at my like calendar. I only took two trades, so there's like nothing here, right? So yeah, like right here, I had the small loss. There's only two trading days for this whole month, and for this whole year, actually. This is my year-to-date stats. So I'm net profit about 59,000. That's including the loss. But yeah, today I recouped all my loss from last Monday, and then I made double almost on top of it. So yeah, this is we're starting a new year. So a new year, I've only taken two trades. This is how much profit I have. My profit factor is currently at 2.54, which is really good. Win ratio is 50-50, of course, because I have one loss, one win. And yeah, I'm excited to see where we go from here, guys. I'm really excited, honestly. I'm really excited because I'm trading a lot of big money now. Obviously, you guys know for the hedge fund, yeah, the profits are gonna be a lot bigger now because I'm trading, the hedge fund, of course. So. It's just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger as we go. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, Sam said, good one, Sean. Some banging money. Yeah. So patience is really kicking in right now. I mean, that was just one trade. I just gotta stay patient, gotta stay consistent, gotta keep adapting with the market. Hopefully, like what we have working right now is gonna keep working for a while, so I don't have to make too many adjustments. But obviously, I'm gonna be on the charts every day, adjusting, improvising, optimizing, doing whatever I can to make things better. But again, there's no entries right now. Let me go and take a look at the list real quick if there's anything else to look at. Mm, 720. I don't think that trade hit, but I'll take a look at it. Um, okay. Yeah, I don't think the trade here hit. It's okay. It's for documentation purposes, of course. Let me check if there was flickering momentum at 720. There actually was. So the flickering momentum right here at 718. So this would be flickering momentum, no entry. And same with this one right here. Like I said, the 1 minute, this is why I don't like the 1 minute. There's just going to be a bunch of no entries. It's kind of annoying, honestly, because you're waiting for these entries to come up, and it's like, man, you sit there and you sit there and you sit there, and the entry just never comes up. You're like, man, what a freaking boring time or a waste of time. You sit here for hours and hours and hours every week, and you don't have anything to show for, right? So again, these are the 1 minute entries. This is why I'm kind of moving away from the 1 minute time frame. This is going to be a big change for me because I've been trading the 1 minute time frame for years. I haven't traded on the 5 minute or anything. We've traded on the 3 minute every once in a while, but the 5 minute, I haven't traded on the 5 minute for I don't know, maybe like 4 years now. Because I don't like trading on the higher time frames, but like I said, we have to adapt with the market. You can't be stagnant and I can't be stubborn, like, oh, I'm only gonna trade on the 1 minute because that's all I trade. Like, no, I gotta trade on the 5 minute because obviously you can see here it's a little choppy, but it's not super choppy like the 1 minute here, right? Like this is just too choppy. There's no entries ever available. And it's just I gotta take trades. I'm running a hedge fund. I have to take trades. Um, can't just sit around and not do anything for months. I mean, if I want to take the rest of the month off, I basically take the rest of the month off because I'm already in profit. So my main goal for every month, we talked about this. My main goal every single month is to yield profit for my hedge fund clients, right? So whether it's one trade, two trades, three trades, as long as I close the month in profit, I'm happy, right? I'm happy. The clients are happy. Now that I'm operating and running a hedge fund, it's different, right? I'm playing a different game now. I'm not looking for those 100% gains or 200% gains. I'm looking for consistent gains, right? I want to be reaching, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% per month on a consistent basis. So yeah, things are a little different. I'm a little more cautious. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a good thing because it shows a lot more consistency and discipline. It's a bad thing because I'm just not having as many trades. I have to be very selective about what I decide to take. Okay, we have an MPS PA and MPS V2 coming up shortly. We have a lower low right here, lower low, and we have a pending buy signal. So let's see what's going on here. But yeah, if you guys have noticed, my trading has changed a lot. I'm not as risky anymore. I'm very cautious. I'm very selective with what I'm taking. I'm only taking one entry per day. And there's reason for that. It's because I'm trading for the hedge fund now. I'm not just trading my own accounts, right? Like I'm trading real money. So let me show you real quick. I didn't even show you guys a screenshot of my actual accounts here, but or all the accounts that I traded. I think this is gonna, like, a lot of people don't realize this, but when you trade real money, it's different. It's way different compared to trading a prop account, right? Because prop account is whatever. Like, you blow the account, you get a new account. Not a big deal. For me, I can't blow accounts because this is real money. If the account's blown or the money's blown, um, that's real money that's gone. I can't just go buy another account. So that's why I'm a lot more cautious with my entries here, and I can't take every single trade that comes up as much as I would love to. I just can't because that puts the accounts at risk. So anyways, let me go ahead and let me take a screenshot of this real quick so that we know which entries got into. Damn, I haven't done this in so long. I don't even remember how to do it. So this was the entry for today. And then here are the profits. Okay, yeah, so here are my accounts. Like I said, I'm trading for, hedge fund clients. If you guys are interested in me trading for you, let me know. These are all the profits right here for all the clients. So this is all real money. I mean, you guys can see why it's nerve-wracking because if I have a loss, it's going to screw up the accounts. And I got to be very cautious. So that's why I'm sticking to one trade per day. This keeps my risk at a pretty limited. Um, So if I lose for the day, it's like whatever, I'll trade the other day and then I'll be done. I think what I might do as well is I might cap myself to 2 wins per week. So if I have 2 wins for the week, I'm just done because that's going to guarantee profit for the week. That's going to give me consistent profits week after week. Um, yeah, it's just like I said, I'm playing a different game. So like for me, I'm not about racking up a bunch of wins. I'm more so about being consistent with profitability. So like for example, here we're in January. My main goal is just to close every month in the green, right? Because if I have a green month, everybody's happy. Anyways, there's an MPS V2 here. This is not a valid momentum signal, but if you guys wanted to take it, I mean, it's an opportunity right there. Well, it's not running yet, but it's going to be running pretty soon. We have a lower low here. We have a buy signal. We have a retracement on this candle. This is not going to be an MPS PA because there's a higher high right here, right? If you guys remember my criteria for the MPS PA, you can't have a higher high or a lower low in the way. So it's right here under my notes. No entry if higher high or lower low is in the way of the position. So if you were to take a position right here, it doesn't matter when it comes up. Either way, this higher high is not going anywhere. So there's no entry for an MPSPA. There may be an entry here for an MPSV2, but again, take that at your own risk, right? I mean, it looks like it could be good. Break and retest off the structure and continuation up higher. So let me see over here real quick. Oh, okay, okay. I see what you said. You're saying Message. So Message said, Sean, I meant for the algo entries maybe a minute before the entry for an alert. Yeah, no, I could probably do that. I think just so I don't miss the entries, right? So I think the night prior, I'll probably set up an alert so I know when to look at the chart. But for the most part, I don't think we're going to miss it too much because it's on the 5 minute. So it's not going to, I mean, there's only so many 5 minute candles, right? I think there's 18 5 minute candles per day. So I'll be on the chart and paying attention to stuff like that. Miss Heech said, is that all personal, Sean? I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. I have different sets of accounts. So I have the accounts for the props and I have accounts for the hedge clients. I can't say for sure, but I think so because I'm what I'm doing is I'm just updating the trader sync. So I'm not really logging into the accounts. When I update the accounts, I just click update and then it just logs into all the accounts that are on there. So I'm assuming it is. If it's not, it could possibly be prop accounts. So like I have two different sets. I have one set of accounts that are just prop accounts like Apex stuff like that, and then I have one set that's the hedge clients. Yeah, so I can't say for sure. I'm thinking yes, but I don't want to say for sure. Either way, I mean the trades were taken on both. So I actually made more profit. This is only 40 accounts here. I actually am trading a total of like I think 70 accounts. So the profit's actually more if you want to incorporate prop accounts with hedge clients, which is crazy. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, damn, I actually made a lot today because I didn't even think about that, how I have two sets of accounts. All right, let's see what else we got over here. Nice. Brock said gold just hit for 215 ticks. Nice. It's pretty solid. Rev said, does one trade per month cover the cost of being in the hedge fund? Yes. So that's why like my main goal, Rev, is to have one net win. Because one net win, like for example, so well, we could do the math here, right? So if you were taking one contract, right? So one contract, your management fee would be 300 bucks. So one times five times 60, it would basically cover it. So I mean, we want to have more than one win, of course, right? But yeah, one win would cover it. So like basically you break even for the month to cover expenses and whatnot. So that's the goal. I mean, the goal is really to just yield a profit. Obviously, I'm going to aim for more than one trade. That's why I'm saying like for each week, if I have two wins, I'll just wrap it up because either way, if you have two wins for the week, I'll still be in profit because it'll be a 4R for two wins. And then if I have three losses, it'll be negative 3R. So I'll still be up 1R for the week. And if I just cut it off, like if I just take two trades and I'm done for the week, that's a plus 4R. So you think about that, again, we'll do the math here again. So we'll say two trades. We'll be conservative. We'll just say like one week we had two plus maybe one. Just say we had like a whatever month, right? We had like one month where it was where it'd be a 4R and then or one week where it's a 4R and then the other months are just one win, right? So that'd be a 10R. So you do the math there, one times five times uh 30 times 10, it's 1,500. Your cost for the management fee with one contract would be 300. So you minus 300, your take home would still be 1,200 for the month. So that's why I'm saying like for the goal here, I'm really just trying to take like maybe two trades per week because if you had two trades where you just took the wins and you stopped trading for the rest of the week, it'd be a 4R. And then for the rest of the week, if I had one win and then or if I had two wins and then a couple losses, it'd be at 2R or whatever. And on a conservative month, that's kind of what I'm aiming for. And this is just one contract. So if you're trading 10 contracts, then you'd multiply that by 10, and that'd be the profit for 10 contracts. So it just comes down to the math, right? If you can do the math and you can understand like, okay, this is the expenses, this is how much I'm looking to yield. Um, for the most part, we're trying to balance out to where you're making slight profit, not a crazy amount of profit, but like, slight profit. Obviously, there's going to be some months where we have win streak and you can make a lot more. They just, like October, I think October was a good thing and a bad thing. It was a good thing because we had a ton of wins. It was a bad thing because everyone was excited to join the hedge fund. They thought every month is going to be like October. We had October, which was a green month, and then every other month after that was just slow, right? November was really slow. December is really slow. This month is really slow. Um, so I mean, it was a blessing and a curse. It was a blessing because I made so much profit that month. I think I made like nearly 500,000 for that month. Uh, and it was just dead since then. But it's cool because it carried me over till now. So you just gotta understand with trading, guys, it's not always gonna be perfect. And you gotta be able to roll with it, right? You gotta be consistent even if the market's not consistent for you. Anyways, there's an MPSV2 right here which came up. I don't think anybody took this trade. I mean, it's still running right now, but I'm not in this position. This is an MPSV2. So we had a buy signal right here, bullish trend, price pushed up. See, the problem with this right here is we've talked about this before in the past. 7:30 is usually when the market starts to die out, and 7:30 was right here. You can see the market is now dying out. The volatility is kind of obsolete at this point, and now it's kind of just flatlining. So we'll see how this ends up going. I'm not in this position. Also, this buy signal was not a valid momentum. And then also Sam mentioned there was news. I think there was news at 7:30 as well, right? Which is another reason to skip the trade. Yeah, it was gas stock change. And it was negative too. So probably a good decision to sit out of that one. All right, Brock, I just saw your messages. We'll see you back here tomorrow, it looks like. Let's see. Um, nice. So this is the trade running for Paul right now. Yeah, this is a solid entry. It looks like you're riding it up to that upper liquidity right there. So it's looking pretty solid. Yeah, for the most part, it's looking pretty solid right there. Let me go to the 5 minute, see gold. Yeah, so you can see over here, gold got spiked out with the news. So there was news at 7 o'clock, high impact. It was negative news. But you can see the analysis still played out perfectly, right? So at 7 o'clock right here, negative news for personal income. This is both high impact news events, all negative right here. And it spiked price down and then it went straight to where it was supposed to go, right? So if you didn't get stopped out right there, it would have pushed right back to where it was supposed to. So like I mentioned earlier, if you want to hold on to this position, I would say close out of it 10 minutes before and then get back in 10 minutes after, right? Because if you would have done that, so for example, right here, you would have gone out for a small profit right here, and then you would have gone right back in 10 minutes after, and you still would have hit your target. I think this is where Paul got back in, or he was in it, and that went straight up to where it was supposed to go. The TP stop loss right here is based off the ATR for 6:30 to 8. So if you guys are curious to how to find that out, what I did here is I just went to, so you can just replay to 8 o'clock like the previous day. So I go over here, I replay it to 8 o'clock. And you just calculate how many candles are or how many candles are from 6:30 to 8. So like from 6:30 right here, I just measure it to here, right? It's 17 bars or 18 bars. It doesn't matter if you do one or the other. I think I put 18 for mine. And then for my ATR, I just set it to 18, right? So now with that being the case right here, I just looked over here and I looked over here and see where it says 12.633. It's basically 126. I just rounded it down to 120, and that's how I got the number. That's why I'm using a 240 to 120 because my stop loss is the ATR and my target is double the ATR. That's how I got the number there to understand, okay, this is where my TP stop loss should be. And that's why specifically for today, that's what I used right here. That's how I'm figuring out what the TP stop loss should be for specific assets. I'm just basing it off the ATR for the previous day until I figure out what's a good fixed number. And then I'll use that fixed number. So nice work, Paul, on catching that right there. Okay, yeah, I'm scrolling down you did exactly what I just mentioned, Paul. So Paul said you reinsert the gold buy. Solid. Okay. Yeah, Paul said this one will recoup losses for today, made some dumb decisions. Yeah, I was surprised you took that trade at 7, Paul, because you're the one that actually messaged me last night. You're like, hey, be careful, there's news tomorrow. And you took the trade. I'm assuming you just forgot. I mean, it happens, right? I forget about news all the time too. But yeah, that's kind of what screwed the position earlier at 7 o'clock. So again, if you guys, another reminder is if you're looking to take a trade, just keep in mind that you don't want to trade 10 minutes before or 10 minutes after high impact news because it's going to be highly impacted, right? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to take a trade during a period like that. So it's better to just kind of sit out of it and wait for it to react and then get in later. And if you miss it, you miss it, right? It's better to just miss the trade than to take a loss, of course. Yeah, Rev City, yeah, I'm trying to gauge it based on this month with a win and a loss, but I know not every month is going to be like this. Yeah, I agree with you too, Rev. If you guys are going to join the hedge fund, just understand that I'm going to be trading in your best interest. So if I'm not taking trades, I know some people get impatient. They're like, wow, Sean hasn't traded for like a month or a week or whatever, and you want me to take something. I'm only taking stuff that I think is going to hit. Like I'm not going to take anything that is going to put your account at risk. So just something to keep in mind, guys. Just something to keep in mind. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hop into the chat. Here, I gotta put my disclaimer over here real quick because I already know the regulators are gonna look at this and they're like, "Oh, Sean didn't say he was his disclaimer today." And it's crazy. I get knocked every day. Every day a regulator is hitting me up like, "Hey, you didn't do something." Okay, whatever. Okay, guys, so I know I didn't do this in the beginning. I'm doing this now. Just another reminder, I am registered with the CFTC and the NFA as a professional trader, commodity trading advisor. Futures trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. You can lose more than your initial investment. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. This stream is for information and educational purposes only. Nothing shown or discussed is a solicitation to buy or sell any futures contract or to participate in any trading program. I may hold positions in the market as discussed. My views may change based at any time based on the market conditions. And if any hypothetical or back-tested results appear during the stream, they have significant limitations and do not represent actual trading. So there goes your disclosure, guys. I didn't get a chance to do it in the beginning because I started a little late, but um, yeah, that's the disclosure I got to give you guys whenever I trade. All right. So again, like I said, 730 right here. Price is it's just flat. There's nothing going on here. This is normal for after 730. So if you want to get into trades, I would recommend trading the first 30 minutes or the first hour. Once you hit the hour into the market, you guys can look from like historical data. It usually flattens out around 730. So like a lot of times I try to avoid trades when this reaches this point because the last thing you want to do is be stuck in an MPS right here and price isn't going anywhere, right? The good thing here is that we do have some pending momentum, but the momentum is already active on these other time frames here on the 5 and 10. So what I'm going to do here next is I'm going to go over to let's see the algo entries. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any algo entries for today. So that one's done with. 738 for a buy. Let me see. Okay, this one's still running. Was there any pending momentum there? Yeah, there was. I don't think that'd be a flickering momentum entry, but it's okay. I'll come back and take a look at that later. This one isn't up yet. This is going to be closer to 755. So in about 10 minutes, we'll have this 5-minute algo entry. 720 for a buy. Let me check. This is for the 5-minute. This one's been hitting a lot, guys. So this, if I was to take the 5-minute algo entry, this is what I would have waited for. Okay, this one was perfect. Like literally no drawdown. This one over here is great. Again, this is another reminder that, or another confirmation is why I like the 5-minute time frame, is because the 720 is usually pretty spot on. That's what I've noticed. So this one over here, full TP on that one. Gold is pretty much done with. 10 minutes done with. 720, 60. Okay, so 730 actually is this entry. 730, which is okay, this one's currently running right now. And I'll have to come back and take a look at that later. All right, I pretty much wrapped up all of the algo entries. There's one entry here which is currently running on the 10-minute. It's for a buy. That's one that I have marked up. I'll have to wait for that one to hit. The 5-minute over here, this one was the last one on the 5 for 100 points, I believe, actually. That one hit full TP. Yeah. So the only entry that's currently running for the algo right now is going to be this one at the 10 minute. Everything else is pretty much wrapped up for the most part. There's one more here on the 5 minute, which is going to happen in about 7 minutes or so. But yeah, all the algo entries are pretty much covered for the most part. Okay, so let's see if there's any more questions, guys. Feel free to hop into the chat and then we will see what else we've got. All right, Message is done. We'll see you back here tomorrow, bro. Paul said I will not be trading tomorrow because I will be working a morning shift. I'll return on Monday, which is my birthday. Nice. Happy early birthday to you, Paul. You're probably going to celebrate this weekend, right? So yeah, happy early birthday to you since you're not going to be here tomorrow. Um, but yeah, so I mean tomorrow's Friday, so Fridays are usually kind of iffy anyway, so I don't think you're going to miss out on very much. Most likely not. All right, guys, this is an MPSPA or no, actually, sorry, I take that back. The MPSPA here is going to be invalidated because there's a higher high right here. But it is an MPS if you guys are looking for an MPS V2. There's a bunch of entries here running actually. The MPS V2 from earlier is still running. So this one's still running. And then we have another MPS which is running alongside it right here. A lot of entries here. So we got that one right there. And then there's another MPS V2 which is setting up right here. Price has to close above this line and it has to obviously no sell signal. So we have two entries currently running right now. It's this one at, I forget, I don't know why I marked this up, but there's an entry here that's currently running. And then there's another one right here as well. Nikki's asking what TP stop loss have you been using for the MPS? I base it off the ATR. So if the ATR is high, I'm using a 60/30. If the ATR is low, I'm using a 40/20. The ATR today, if you go back, let's just go back over here real quick. So our entry happened right here at 645. You can see the ATR was at 38, so I used a 60/30 for this one. If the ATR was closer to 20, I would use a 40/20, but because it was higher, I used a 60/30 on that one. So it's just small variations. I mean, depends on the volatility of the market, but I'm still sticking to my fixed ATR. Okay, so the MPSV2 just came up right here. There's actually three trades running alongside each other right now. It's a lot of trades, low volatility. So, I mean, this thing might just kind of float for a bit. But yes, there's an MPSV2 which came up right here. So MPSV2, which is still running from earlier. And then we have, I forget what this is, but I did mark it up. I don't know what it is. I think this was an algo entry. And then there's another MPSV2, which is running right here. So I'm going to try to stay as much, I'm going to try to stay as much in line with like whatever is coming up so that you guys can follow. Even though I'm done trading, I only took one trade for the day, which is over here, and I was pretty much wrapped up. At this point now, it's kind of just staying flat. But I'm going to see what other entries come up, of course. Asus is asking, Sean, can you show the MPSPA rules? Yes, of course. You could probably ask the bot for the MPSPA too. I don't know if you can do it yet because it's probably not updated. But yeah, I mean, if you want to take a screenshot of this, those are the requirements right there. Confirm valid momentum signal, confirm higher high, lower low, confirm retracement, and then confirm continuation. It's the same strategy. It's just instead of you looking for the trend, you're now looking for higher high or lower low. Let's see, Paul's still in that gold position, so let's take a look at gold real quick. Dang, you've been holding on to it for a while. It hasn't hit your target yet? I would assume to hit your target. It's up like almost like, like almost like, yeah, 300 ticks already. I mean, it's fine. Keep holding on to it. If you feel comfortable with it, I think you're writing it to the liquidity, right? So there's liquidity sitting. I mean, it's already in the liquidity zone, actually. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I mean, you could write it to the upper liquidity if you really wanted to. Yeah. What I would say is if you're in this position, Paul, I would probably trail it. I mean, if you're in profit already, you're net positive for the day, I would just trail it. Um, because now that it's within the liquidity zone, I mean, it could push past it. And, like, I don't want to discourage your position. Like, don't let me override your analysis. If your analysis shows that it's going to push through, then, hold on to it. But what I'm looking at right here is that price is currently in the liquidity zone. So at any point, price can turn the other way. It just depends on the news because gold is highly impacted by, Trump, of course. If Trump says anything, it's going to push price up or it's going to push price down. So let me check the news updates real quick. I don't know if there's any other updates here. So this actually helped gold. So Trump's tariffs. Trump's latest tariffs U-turn is sparking global market rally. It's, causing the market to go up and reviving talk of the taco trade. Yeah, Trump always chickens out. Yeah. I mean, it's causing all the markets to go up, of course. But yeah, I'm glad your position is still running. I'm just surprised you're holding on to it for so long. But if you have a specific target in mind, hold on to it, right? I think you sent a screenshot. Let me see. Yeah, let me see where your target was. I'm gonna scroll up. And you guys are really active in the chat today, huh? Okay, so your target is at 48.81. You're almost there. Yeah, you're not that far. 48.81. Yeah, I mean, it's slowing down because obvious reasons, right? Market volatility is kind of flattened out, but I do think it'll reach. So I was just concerned if your target was outside the liquidity zone, but you're within the liquidity zone. So I do expect it to possibly hit that point before it turns around, right? So I think you're safe. Um, all right. Anyways, YM here is pretty flat still. I think we had one entry, which is currently running. Let me check my algo list. No entry on that one. 738 for a buy. Let me check real quick. Oh, that's what I had marked up. Okay, so this is an algo entry. I figured it was an algo entry. It was at a random time. So MPSV2, algo entry, MPSV2. Um, 755. This is for a buy for YM on the 5 minute. Let me go back over here. Okay, so there's an entry right here for the five, which is currently running. I believe this is 60/30. I might be wrong. Yeah, 60/30. Okay, so I will just mark it up real quick. And I'll come back to this later. It's probably not going to move for a while, but this is the entry right there. This is the algo entry at the candle is 750, but the entry is at 755. Everything else is done though. So overall, the market was pretty good today for us. Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of time until it moves up. It's probably gonna take a while, but it's fine. Rev is asking the MPS V2s, there's a D version and a PA version. So we just changed the D. The D is just PA. We just changed it to PA. It makes more sense. It's price action. So yeah, we dropped the D, pause, and we added the PA version. That was pretty much what it was. It was just we dropped the D part and now it's just PA. Yeah, pause and hard pause. Yeah. Because you were trying to figure out what the name was, but PA makes most sense because that's literally what it is. I told it. Super pause. All right, guys, we're getting close to 8 o'clock. If you guys have more profit to post up, or if you guys have any questions, feel free to hop into the chat. Great day today. Great week so far. I only took one trade. Unfortunately, just one trade. The MPSPA has been hitting every single day this week. I wish I took those other trades, but it is what it is. I'll take what I can get. And yeah, no biggie. No biggie at all. I'm gonna post all this stuff really quick. Um, what was I gonna post it? Oh yeah. All right. So let's see what we got over here. Yeah, I was wondering what that D comment was in reference to earlier. Makes sense though. Yeah, we're trying to figure out a name for that MPS. It just didn't make, I mean, it made sense earlier because obviously Daniel was a creator of or the variation. But yeah, PA does make a little more sense because it's just kind of random. All right, so there's nothing here right now, guys. It's about to be 8 o'clock. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm basically done for the day. Like I said, I only took one trade for today. These are my statistics. For this month so far, I've only taken two trades. Let me just show you the actual web page. It's easier to show you guys. So for this month so far, I took one trade last Monday, which was a loss. Unfortunately, I think this one we got spiked out and then it pushed in profit right after. The stop loss was just a little too tight. It happens. It was a 20-point stop loss, got pretty much triggered, and then it pushed right up and it just ate that loss, moved on with it. These are only 40 accounts. So you can see over here that these are pretty much aligned because there's only 40 accounts here with the, oh, year to date. Okay, yeah. So basically 40 accounts were traded on this one and then 40 accounts were traded on this one. I actually have more accounts. I have about 70 accounts, but I've only been able to upload these because they're in different, I might have to get a different account for my TraderSync to upload them separately. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's where I'm currently at. I lost 38,000 on last Monday. I made 97,000 today. Obviously I made more, but that's just what I got here on the TraderSync. Again, I've only taken two trades, so this is my calendar. Compared to last year, you guys saw my trades. I think this is going to be cool because we're starting off fresh, right? Last year, we closed out the year pretty good. Yeah, so here's last year's. Let me show you real quick. So last year we started on January 2nd and I pretty much traded the whole year and you guys saw my equity curve change day after day, right? I closed out the year with 1 million in profit, so that was a great year last year. Again, we're starting over. So for this year so far, I'm currently only at two trades in profit net right now or gross 57,000 total because I lost 38 on Monday and then I made 97,000 today. So the good thing here, this is what I like to see. I want to see the profit factor kind of increase. Last year, we started off with a one-to-one risk to reward. So you can see over here, let me just update it again. My profit factor wasn't super great because I wasn't applying 1 to 2 until later in the year. So I actually closed out the year with a 1.50 profit factor, which is good. I mean, we started increasing. We were at a 1 to 1 and then we moved up to 1 to 2. So it went from, profit factor of 1 and then slightly 1.2. But this is a whole year's of data, right? So this isn't just like a week, right? It's not impressive. If someone's showing you a week's profits, not impressive. Have them show you a whole year, right? Because if you can hold a 1.50 profit factor for an entire year, it's pretty good. You're gonna make a lot of profit, right? So again, we're starting off fresh. This is a brand new year. I've only taken two trades, so this is obviously going to fluctuate as we take more trades. But so far, so good. I'm currently at a 50% win ratio, one win, one loss. But with a 50% win ratio, I'm still at a 2.54 profit factor, which is huge. Okay, anyways, so let me see if there's any other questions here before we wrap it up. Let's see, Ken's asking, how do I get the algo? Go down to the bottom. So if you're not part of the Discord, Ken, just make sure to go to the Discord. Um, the website's going to show that we're not accepting any more clients because now that I'm a hedge fund manager, I can't share my strategies with the public. But if you want access to it or you want to see it in use, just make sure you're part of the Discord because it's still available to old clients, right? Prior clients. So if you're on YouTube, just scroll down to the description. You're gonna see a link right there with the Discord. Join the Discord and then there'll be a button over here for premium access. This is for the live trading room, which is a Zoom, and this is for the strategies if you want access to the algo. Right now, we're still offering access to the algo. I don't know for how long. Obviously, we're doing a deep test right now. We're trying to figure out what are the best parameters. And this algo is going to improve over time. So as it improves and improves and improves, once it gets to a point where we find very consistent profitability, we're not going to make it available to the public, right? So if you're in, you're in. If you're not, then you're not. So if you want access to it, just make sure that you go to the Discord, or I mean, all the links are right there in the description. So if you want to join any of the things there, I mean, you can get the link from the description. But all right, guys, I think that's it. Yeah, Sam said don't like the price action right now. It's choppy for me. Yeah, it's way too choppy. So a lot of the trades here are still currently running. Let's see, the MPSV2 is almost at its target right there. The algo entry right here is currently almost at its target as well, 60 points. This algo entry has been running for a while now. It's running for 26 minutes, but I can assume that it's going to hit target. So it looks like we're going to have three back-to-back wins right here, two MPSV2s, and then the algo entry right here, which is in the middle. I'll be following it because I have to update the spreadsheet. Again, if you guys want to see the spreadsheet, it's posted in the Discord. All of the entries here are listed, and I'll just have to update these as we go. But okay, guys, I think that's it. Um, yeah, Paul's gold is almost there. And Paul said he needs a bath. Rev said, thanks everyone. Great being with y'all. Yeah, definitely, Rev. All right, guys. So I think that's it for the day. Again, if you guys want to join or have access or whatever it may be, you're not going to be able to get access on the website because you can see over here it's no longer open to the public. But if you guys are part of the Discord, you can still get access to it. Again, if you guys are on the YouTube, just make sure that you're subscribed and you have notifications turned on, because if you have looked at my YouTube channel, the YouTube does not show any more videos, right? Um, Basically the regulators, like I said, I can't share my strategies with the public anymore because I am a hedge fund manager. So right here, you can see all of my videos are gone. If you want to look at the videos though, you can click the playlist here. I have over almost 3,000 live trading sessions. So like if you click on playlist, you'll see all the videos there, but for the most part, you can't really find them here unless you have the links to it. Um, I have over 10 years of live trading sessions that are on here. And if you want access to it, they're on the Discord. So you go to Discord, you go to where is it at? Live trading sessions, and then the playlist is right here. If you click on that button, it's going to bring you to all of the live trading sessions. So it's loading right here. You can see I have over 1,301 live trading sessions. So that's about 8 to 10 years of live trading every single day. All right, guys. I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, hit me up on Discord. This trade's about to hit. I think the algo just hit almost. But I'll update the spreadsheet as we go. But okay, guys, that's it. I'll be on the Discord if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow as we wrap up this trading week. So, all right, guys, have a great rest.